I remember coming to the studio, anxious to see a painting that he was working on, and I would say, where's that painting? And he'd say, it's under that painting. He was such a funny, joyous, open character. I mean, he was so encompassing, and you feel it here in the studio now. You see this, there still is electricity here.
Sam loved pulling everything out, torturing everybody in the studio, making them, put paintings on wheels, spin them around, and these are all enormous, enormous paintings.
It was an active space. He was very much moving around that space, looking at things, working on paper, working on canvas, but then also becoming very interested in the three-dimensional objects that he was making.
The energy that swelled up in this man was astonishing, because a young painter couldn't have produced that much work in such a short period of time, working with a fever. So it was like a natural occurrence, like a volcano erupting. And actually the surface of a lot of the paintings is like volcanic ash. When I saw the first paintings that he did, and I came down and was so excited to see these amazing colorful pictures that he'd always made, the whole studio was white. Yes. There was no color. But of course, upon closer examination, upon letting the ash settle, the coals were glowing behind the white surfaces, and you could pick out gems, little tiny gems of color. And it was like volcanic ash settling layer upon layer upon layer. That's how he made his pictures, layer upon layer upon layer.
With these later works where you're looking at an apparently white surface, and of course as you get closer to the canvas you realize that it's, the full color spectrum is there, whether it's, partially hidden or dotted on the surface.
I remember Arne saying to me how coming here after Sam started painting again, it was like some of the experiences you had as a young man going into the studios of the abstract expressionists.
Oh, it's true. When I came into the studio and saw the white paintings, I felt like when I came into Rothko's studio or the photos of Pollock's studio. It just had a different level of energy, a different dynamism and originality.
Sort of the scale of that planar surface with this incredible sort of encrustation of materiality on the surface. That surface treatment is not dissimilar from some of the works he was working on in the 80s as well.
Sam's like an ice skater in that sense that he makes really hard things look easy. So he is, he had stained paintings. He had allowed paint to drip. He had, removed paint to add more paint. He had used multiple kinds of papers in order to get the right paper weight for his works on paper. So there was always this way in which the materials and the methods, they are part of the process that is sometimes really hard one, and we only ever see the result that just looks really amazing and looks very skillful.
I think there's a little bit of magic in the paintings. There was a big pressure to deliver because Sam was delivering excellence to us.